taking your car and going to Mexico.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 movie deaths that closely mirror real-life tragedies. Beware of spoilers.
I'm just trying to get home. No, we ain't trying to go to jail, you feel me? We just trying to get home.
Number 20, POW Brutal Reality, The Bridge on the River Kwai. Even though David Lean's war epic is set around the construction of the infamous Burma Railway, it is largely fictional.
You British prisoners have been chosen to build a bridge across the River Kwai.
But one thing it does help us remember is the harsh conditions and brutal deaths local civilians and prisoners of war endured during that dark time. From 1940 to 1943, Imperial Japanese forced prisoners to build the bridge, and tens of thousands died from starvation, disease, overwork, and brutal treatment during construction.
And your group here?
Mostly Aussies, some Lime, some British, Indians, Burmese, Siamese.
And what happened to them?
They died. Of malaria, dysentery, beriberi, gangrene. Other causes of death: famine, overwork, bullet wounds, snake bites.
While toned down, the film does show these rough living conditions and acknowledges that the jungle labor was grueling and dangerous. However, survivors and former POWs argue that the real conditions were far worse than depicted. Number 19, Lefty's Final Moment, Donnie Brasco. Pretending to be a jewel thief, an FBI agent infiltrates the Bonanno crime family under the alias Donnie Brasco.
What's going on?
Hey, Lefty.
Hey, Lefty, what you say?
This is Donnie, a friend of mine.
How you doing?
That's the true story of FBI undercover agent Joe Pistone, played by Johnny Depp. According to the film, it is Lefty who brings him into the mob and ultimately faces execution for it. In reality, Lefty's final moment echoes that of mob leader Dominic Napolitano, known as Sonny Black. Like Lefty on screen, after realizing his gang members might kill him for letting an FBI agent into his crew, the capo prepared himself for death.
If Donnie calls, tell him if there's gonna be anyone, I'm glad it was him.
He was eventually summoned to a meeting and murdered in a gangland fashion. That basement execution of Sonny Red closely mirrors the fate that actually befell Napolitano. Number 18, Jungle Combat Casualties, Platoon. Oliver Stone's Platoon follows Chris Taylor, a young man who drops out of college to fight in Vietnam and soon witnesses war at its most brutal. The film builds towards a chaotic, nightmarish battle as North Vietnamese forces overrun the American perimeter.
They're probing us. They're gonna be going up and down this line all night trying to get through. All right, stay here. Stay cool. I'll be right back.
Interestingly, Stone drew from his own experience during the New Year's Day battle of 1968 to recreate this disorienting sequence. Other Vietnam veterans who were present that night confirmed this battle happened, proving it wasn't just a figment of Stone's imagination.
Goddamn, Lieutenant! Where are you gonna pull back to? They're all over the perimeter! Now you be advised, you will hold in place, and you will fight! That means you, Lieutenant!
That close-range fighting, the paranoia and deaths from friendly fires reflect the harsh realities of that combat. While the soldiers who die on screen may not be exact replicas of any one real person, they're inspired by those Stone knew. Number 17, the Osage Indian Murders, Killers of the Flower Moon. In the 1920s, members of the Osage Nation became some of the richest people in the world after discovering oil on their land. But with that wealth came danger.
The Osage, they have the worst land possible. But the good Lord, he outsmarted everybody. The land had oil on it, black gold. But they're wise people. They worked it so they have the say. Who gets the oil? Who gets the hid rights?
One by one, they began dying under mysterious circumstances as outsiders plotted to steal their oil rights. Killers of the Flower Moon features Leonardo DiCaprio as Ernest Burkhart, who became entangled in this conspiracy orchestrated by his uncle, William Hale. As shown in the film, members of Molly Burkhart's family were either poisoned, shot, or bombed, and she herself was allegedly poisoned.
Have you told all the truths?
Yes, I have. My soul is clean now, Molly. It's a relief to me.
Sadly, there were many more like Hale and Burkhart, and they got off lightly. Newer investigations even suggest the true death toll among the Osage may have reached into the hundreds. Number 16, The Watertown Shootout, Patriots Day. This Mark Wahlberg-led film recreates the events surrounding the 2013 Boston bombings and the manhunt that followed.
The news is going crazy. They're saying there could be more bombs. Please be careful.
But I will. I gotta go. All right? I'm gonna call you as soon as I can.
That horrific shootout between police and the Tsarnaev brothers is inspired by the real-life Watertown shootout. In fact, one of the officers involved stated that the depiction of the firefight is relatively close to what happened tactically. As shown in the film, some officers were seriously wounded during the shootout. One of them died about a year later from his injuries. Also, that sequence where one of the Tsarnaev brothers runs over his own brother while attempting to escape is true to what happened.
Go, go, go! This is Delta 984. Pursuit of a black Mercedes SUV heading east on Laurel Street.
Patriots Day may not be 100% real, but these aspects are as close to the truth as possible. Number 15, Hitler's Ultimate Defeat, Downfall. This film offers a rare look into Adolf Hitler's final days as the Nazi army faces defeat in World War II. It portrays his refusal to leave Berlin, his outburst at the turn of events, and his ultimate end.
Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl! Wer schickt Sie? Dass Sie es wagen, sich meinen Befehl zu widersetzen! So weit ist das also gekommen. Das Militär hat mich belogen! Jeder hat mich belogen, sogar die SS!
That Hitler's decision to take his life after learning that the 12th Army couldn't save Berlin closely follows widely accepted historical accounts. Are we even surprised? Downfall was praised for its level of historical detail. Director Oliver Hirschspiegel relied on survivors' memoirs, eyewitness accounts, and other historical research to recreate the setting and characters.
Mein Führer, ich flehe Sie an, verlassen Sie Berlin. Mein Führer, bitte, verlassen Sie uns nicht. Was soll denn aus uns werden?
Morgen schon werden mich Millionen verfluchen. Aber das Schicksal wollte es nicht anders.
For Bruno Ganz to truly transform into Hitler, he studied recordings and footage. That final image looks closely to the real Hitler, just as his death hits close to reality. Number 14, Wallace's Execution, Braveheart. This epic flick sees Mel Gibson step into the towering legacy of William Wallace, the Scottish knight who paved the way for his country's independence.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Few movie deaths resonate like Wallace's execution, staged as a defiant stand for freedom. Of course, the real legend's death wasn't as dramatic. If anything, his death was far more gruesome and prolonged. But according to history, he was indeed taken to London, where he was hanged, drawn, and quartered as punishment reserved for those convicted of treason. The film tones down the full horror of the execution, but represents some key elements. Wallace may not have screamed freedom, but he refused to accept the charges against him, since he never swore allegiance to Edward I. Number 13, the D-Day Landing Massacre, Saving Private Ryan. Steven Spielberg wanted to make Saving Private Ryan as authentic as possible, and he succeeded in doing so. The opening scene is a result of that dedication.
30 seconds! Got me with you!
North side stick, starboard side stick. Move fast and clear those murder holes.
It draws from the actual assault on Omaha Beach in 1944 that saw thousands of American soldiers wounded and killed within hours. Veterans of the real incident say the film's depiction is the most accurate they've ever seen on screen. The seasickness, the large number of casualties, and even tiny details like the sound of bullets are believed to be highly accurate.
Well, we gotta get this draw open. Ryman, Mellis, let's get into the war. Grab some cover and put some fire on that crew.
Many veterans reportedly sought professional help after watching it because of how real it felt. Those soldiers you see dying instantly represent the tragic fates of real men. It's both scary and sad. Number 12, Numerous Deaths, Schindler's List. Yet another Spielberg film often praised for its historical accuracy, Schindler's List portrays the horrors of the Holocaust through the eyes of Oskar Schindler.
I'd make sure it's known the company's in business. I'd see that it had a certain panache. That's what I'm good at. Not the work, not the work. The presentation.
Spielberg did more than adapt a historical novel. He consulted Holocaust survivors and historians during production to ground the film in lived testimony and documented fact. While some aspects are fictional, those brutal deaths of Jewish prisoners are highly accurate. Those random shootings, the horrifying conditions in concentration camps, and the portrayal of executions are grounded in survival testimony. Remember the scene where Amon Gut arrives and decides Krakow should be liquidated?
By this evening, those 6 centuries are a rumor. They never happened. Today is history.
It mirrors real Nazi operations during the Holocaust. That's precisely why it's so hard to watch. Number 11, Emmett Till's tragic end. Till. In the summer of 1955, Emmett Till traveled from Chicago to Mississippi, where his young life was brutally cut short. Accused of whistling at or flirting with a white woman, he was abducted and brutally murdered.
Who are you?
Get your clothes on.
Mr. Bryant, you ain't got to do this. You're just a young boy.
Days later, his mutilated body was retrieved from the river where it had been discarded. Chinonye Chukwu's Till tells this heartbreaking story from the perspective of Mamie Till Mobley. To ensure accuracy, the film consulted members of Till's family and drew from decades of research by filmmaker Keith Beauchamp. It may not be 100% real, but the abduction, the mutilation, the sham trial, and open casket funeral closely reflect real-life events.
My son's brutalized body meant nothing to Mississippi's criminal justice system. And while they blamed the victim as usual, the federal government stood idly by. If this country fails to protect the black body from hate, America has yet to meet her promise.
As tragic as Till's death was, it became a turning point for the civil rights movement. Number 10, the assassination of Jesse James. The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. This slow-burn western stars Brad Pitt as outlaw Jesse James and Casey Affleck as the starstruck Robert Ford, who murdered James.
I can't believe I woke up this morning wondering if my daddy would loan me his overcoat. And here it is just past midnight. I've already robbed a railroad train. I'm sitting in a rocking chair chatting with none other than Jesse James.
Historically, after much of James's gang was dead, arrested, and scattered, he relied on the Ford brothers for protection. He even invited them to move in with him and his family, which proves to be a fatal move. Though the movie dramatizes the relationship between James and the Ford brothers, it accurately depicts his assassination. On April 3, 1882, Robert Ford shot Jesse James in the back of his head while he was turned away and unarmed. In a grim twist of fate, Ford was killed in a similar manner, forever marked by the betrayal that defined his name.
Hello, Bob.
The shotgun would ignite, and Ella May would scream. But Robert Ford would only lay on the floor and look at the ceiling, the light going out of his eyes, before he could find the right words.
Number 9, Jamie Smith's death, Black Hawk Down. Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down is downright disturbing, as it recounts the 1993 Battle of Mogadishu. One of its most painful moments shows medics frantically trying to save a soldier after he's hit in the thigh by a bullet.
I need pressure on this wound. My right thigh! Pressure, yeah, okay? Oh, my balls are changing. Still have your balls.
That character is indeed based on real U.S. Army Ranger Jamie Smith, whose femoral artery was hit during the battle. Fellow Rangers tried desperately to save him, but lacked the surgical capability needed to do so. That prolonged, heartbreaking effort is drawn from Mark Bowden's nonfiction book. The author even interviewed the real-life soldier's father to make things as authentic as possible.
2.5, this is 6.4. It's a negative on the medevac. It's not possible.
The result is that scene that feels so devastatingly real and hard to watch. Number 8, Murder at the Park, Heavenly Creatures. It's hard to imagine that this film is rooted in real events.
Oh, look at you two. Couple of Barovnian princesses, if ever I saw them. My daughter. And my foster daughter.
Sadly, Heavenly Creatures traces back to a 1954 murder that took place in Christchurch, New Zealand. Two teenage girls, Pauline Parker and Juliet Holm, developed a friendship that became obsessive, even inventing a fantasy world called the Fourth World. Convinced that Pauline's mother, Honora Parker, stood in the way of their bond, they plotted her death. Much like the film's harrowing depiction, they actually went through with their plan. On June 22, 1954, they lured Honora to a park and bludgeoned her with a brick concealed in a stocking. That image of a helpless, disoriented Sarah Pierce is true to life. In reality, though, the assault was more prolonged.
Sorry.
Number 7. Rachel's Murder, In Her Skin. This film is based on a real Australian case, the 1999 murder of Rachel Barber by Carolyn Reed Robertson. It's inspired by the 2004 book by Barber's mother and Megan Norris, an investigative journalist who followed the case closely.
Carolyn Reed Robertson was charged with the murder of Rachel Barber. The next day, the police went to the property in Kilmore and found Rachel's body buried in a shallow grave in a little bush area of the property.
Robertson had babysat Barber when she was younger, and over time developed a deep, unhealthy fixation on her. That obsession grew so intense that she began to covet Barber's life. That harrowing murder scene is the culmination of that fixation. As depicted, Robertson lured the minor to her apartment, where she strangled her. During the investigation, an application for a birth certificate in Barber's name was found in Caroline's apartment, suggesting she may have intended to assume Barber's identity. Number 6. Fred Hampton's Death, Judas and the Black Messiah. After a petty criminal gets caught by the police, he's cajoled into becoming an FBI informant. His mission? To infiltrate the Black Panther Party and obtain information on its leader, Fred Hampton.
What can I do to help? The goal is to get close to Hampton. So think, what does he need that maybe your Uncle Sam might be able to help you provide?
This criminal, William O'Neill, succeeds in growing close to Hampton and ultimately helps law enforcement to bring him down. While it might seem like yet another gripping political thriller, it's based on a true story. The real O'Neill provided the FBI with detailed information on Hampton's apartment and reportedly sedated him before his apartment was raided.
What's up? Get another drink. You want a refill, Chairman?
Later investigations revealed it was all orchestrated like a raid, so Hampton would be assassinated in the process. Number 5. The Roadside Ambush, The Highwaymen. This crime thriller sees Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson play real-life retired Texas Rangers Frank Hamer and Maney Gault.
Where next? Where they're headed. Home.
Told from the lawmen's perspectives, the film chronicles the relentless hunt for the notorious Bonnie and Clyde in the 1930s. Despite following closely on their trails, the fugitives remain elusive until Henry Methvin's father, Ivy, cooperates in exchange for his son's safety. In the film's climax, the Rangers set up an ambush using Ivy's truck as bait. Rather than surrender, these criminals choose to engage in a shootout that leads to their deaths. In real life, the pair were killed in a similar roadside ambush, so despite some embellishments, the film is broadly accurate with its portrayal of Bonnie and Clyde's death. Number 4. Billy Bat's Brutal End, Goodfellas. Much of this gangster flick is based on Nicholas Pileggi's Wise Guy, which chronicles the life of mob associate Henry Hill. And Billy Bat's? He was absolutely real.
Hey, Frankie, how are you? Hey, Tommy, all dressed up, all grown up and doing the town. Look at this.
In the film, he's portrayed as a made man who insults Tommy by reminding him of shining his shoes. That humiliation eventually leads to his brutal beating and murder in a nightclub, followed by a frantic burial scene. In real life, Billy is based on William Benvina, a member of the Lucchese crime family. According to Hill's account, he was indeed killed in 1970 after mocking Tommy DeSimone.
Anyway, you know what reminds me? I need this knife. I'm gonna take this, it's okay?
The nightclub's attack, and even the infamous trunk scene, where he's discovered still alive, closely follow Hill's descriptions, though some details differ. Number 3. Train Station Murder, Fruitvale Station. In 2009, young Oscar Grant lost his life to police brutality at the Fruitvale Station in Oakland, California. This 2013 film recounts the final 24 hours of his life, portraying him as a father, son, and partner before the tragedy.
You guys got plans for the night?
Yeah, nothing major though. I meet up with the fellas, head out to the city.
You guys going out, or?
I think we're just gonna be low-key.
After a New Year's Eve celebration, Grant and his friends were detained by the police for seemingly causing public nuisance. During the arrest, Anthony Peroni forced Grant face down on the platform, while Officer Johannes Messerli drew his weapon and shot him. That incident was captured on multiple phones, sparking protests and national outrage. That painful image of Michael B. Jordan lying wounded echoes Oscar's real-life last moments.
He shot me, bro. He shot me. I got a daughter.
He died 7 hours later at a local hospital in Oakland. Number 2, stabbing at Lake Berryessa, Zodiac. On September 27, 1969, the still unidentified Zodiac killer attacked Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard at Lake Berryessa in Napa County.
Somebody else is here.
It is a public park.
I think he's watching us.
Well, we're very good looking.
In Zodiac, David Fincher recreates the assault with disturbing realism. The hooded costume, the remote lakeside setting, and the sequence of events closely mirror survivor accounts. The project involved 18 months of research into the Zodiac murders, drawing heavily from the book by Robert Gary Smith. The scene in particular is often praised for its fidelity to witness descriptions. Even author Robert Gary Smith was astounded by its level of accuracy. Survivor Hartnell was also impressed at how accurately it captured his ordeal. So that disturbing murder at the lake wasn't a Hollywood invention, and that's the scariest thing about it.
It's okay. This is all gonna be okay.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Nikki and Dominic's death, Casino. This crime epic features Joe Pesci and Philip Suriano as mob enforcers Nikki and Dominic Santoro, sent to Las Vegas to protect their boss's operation.
You want to embarrass me, make a fool out of me? You didn't gamble?
Initially tasked with ensuring discipline, Nikki's impulsiveness ends up attracting unwanted attention and angering the Chicago outfit leadership. By the end, the brothers are betrayed and executed by their own crew in a grim sequence. Nikki is based on Anthony Spilotro, while Dominic mirrors his brother Michael. In 1986, the Spilotro brothers were lured to a meeting, savagely beaten, and later buried. The film dramatizes this in a cornfield. In reality, they were reportedly murdered in a basement by about 15 mobsters and later buried in a cornfield. The details may differ, but their deaths were downright brutal. Which of these movie deaths affected you the most? Let us know in the comments.